If you've been a Battlefield fan for a while, you know that this is probably the worst it's ever been in franchise history when it comes to community reception, game quality, public perception, and trust level towards the developers and publishers. This is truly the dark ages of Battlefield, and it's crazy to think how far we've fallen. You know, I used to be able to shit on Call of Duty and say it with my chest, you know. Battlefield was never the top selling franchise among the FPS scene, but it for sure used to be top-notch quality back in the good old days with Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, and even Battlefield 1. Being a Battlefield fan felt awesome. It used to feel like I was choosing the superior game. Like all my friends who played Call of Duty were missing out in my eyes when it came to the spectacular Battlefield moments I would have in a match of Rush, on Operation Metro, the destruction, the industry-leading graphical fidelity, the player count, the vehicles. Remember when Battlefield used to be the game that had the best graphics, like, in general? Like, we used to have that title. And I know graphics isn't everything, but that just shows how innovative and cutting edge this franchise used to be. And with the past two titles, that has not been the case. Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042 have been underwhelming, to say the least. They've been riddled with controversy, absolutely broken and missing content at launch, fundamentally flawed from a game design perspective, and just straight up like bad, like embarrassingly bad. Battlefield 2042, although now somewhat fixed and playable, is perceived from the outside like very similarly to Cyberpunk 2077 with how embarrassingly bad and deceptive the launch of the game was. But even saying that now, I don't even want to disrespect Cyberpunk like that, because at least now Cyberpunk is an excellent game. It has like good bones to it, you know? So with Battlefield 6 over the horizon and with the hype train in full force, we all know how much rides on this next game. Literally the future of the Battlefield franchise is at stake here, and even the future of casual FPS gaming. And we all worry this could be it. They've flopped 2 times in a row at this point. Why would we have faith that they can get their shit together this time around? And trust me, I read the comments, and although it's mainly probably from people who don't like the franchise at all and are kind of just hate commenting, the comments that I see on some of my videos saying stuff like, "Here we go again, the cycle continues, you Battlefield fans are a bunch of suckers," is kind of valid. We've been lied to, we've been deceived, we've pre-ordered broken, unfinished games based on promises such as the biggest and the best Battlefield yet, or a love letter to the fans, like twice in a row this has happened. And this time is no different when it comes to the language that's being used by EA CEO Andrew Wilson. He's talking mad game, and he's throwing around phrases such as the Battlefield connected universe and the most ambitious Battlefield of all time, and it's truly hard to just trust them at this point. But leadership at DICE is different now. David Sirland, the mastermind behind Battlefield 4's revival from netcode hell and the brainchild of the highly regarded community testing environment, is back on the team as the lead producer for the next Battlefield game, Mr. Battlefield himself, okay? And then we got Vince Zampella, a guy where it seems like everything he touches just turns to gold, whether it was the Titanfall series or the original Modern Warfare game. This guy just knows what he's doing, or at least it appears that way based off of his history in the industry. We unironically have somewhat of a dream team when it comes to the leadership for the next Battlefield game, but will it matter in the end? Can the Battlefield franchise emerge out of the darkness and make an epic comeback? And that's the question for today's video. I'm going to share my thoughts on the topic and why I think if Battlefield is going to make a return to glory, this is the best shot we are going to get. Really quick though, if you are enjoying the content around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I mainly play Battlefield around these parts, okay, brother? So it's been my favorite franchise since I was a kid. I love this game. I also hop on stream when I get the opportunity here and there. So if that sounds good to you, definitely stick around while we wait for the new game. So here's the deal. The problem with dream teams is, especially when they are manufactured like this, they don't always work. I don't know if you guys are sports fans, but if you are, just think of the LA Lakers. They literally have some of the best players in the history of the NBA, like LeBron James, Luka Doncic. They used to have Anthony Davis, okay? And they could still never get it done because it just never clicked. And that's part of my fear with this new game. Now, really quick, I'll be straight up and honest with you right off the bat. I'm genuinely hyped for Battlefield 6. Everything we have seen from the leaks looks extremely promising. We have seen way more gameplay than ever before, especially before the game has even been officially revealed. Like, we don't even know what the game is called yet, and we've seen hours of gameplay from like 3 maps. It's crazy. So whether the leaks were planned or not, it doesn't really matter, because it's building trust and hype for the new game and the new team over at DICE. It looks way better than 2042, and it's in pre-alpha. The setting looks good, the destruction is back, the classes are kind of back, I think. TBA on that one. It's almost guaranteed this game is going to be at least better than 2042. But this game needs to be great, and if everything clicks, it can. But if it doesn't, that's where I worry, because it's not just one guy that makes Battlefield good. It's a team and a soul that makes the game good. And when I look over in the distance and see Embark Studios, a company full of beloved ex-DICE developers creating and publishing absolute bangers, okay, it's tough. It makes you think, is this new leadership actually the answer to repairing the franchise? And I feel like I'm sounding kind of negative, but I promise you that's not the point of this video, and I'll explain more in a second. But I think these are important questions to ask, and obviously we won't know the answers until the game releases or we get hands-on with the game through an open beta. But one thing I feel like I can say for sure is that if we are going into this new game looking at it through the lens of Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, the game is cooked, okay? Like, I don't think it can reach those heights anymore. And not because that means the game will be bad or it can't be great, but because I don't think that's even really possible anymore. The Battlefield franchise is changing. We aren't going to just get Battlefield 4 remastered on new maps, because let's be honest, I don't even know if they can do it. But that doesn't speak to what the quality of this new game is going to be. It just means that if you expect Battlefield 6 to be just like the legendary games of the past, we will probably be sorely disappointed. And here's the deal. I know everyone says, and I've said this too, right? Bro, just make Battlefield 3 again with better graphics. Like, it's so easy. But if you really think about it, I don't think I'd actually really want that, if I'm being honest with you. Like, sure, my nostalgia would be hyped if there was a remaster of an old Battlefield title like that. But for a new release, no thanks. Like, I want a Battlefield game that recognizes why the franchise was so good in the past and remembers its identity, not a Battlefield game that copies a title from 10 years ago and tries to remake it, because that's not why Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 were so great. If Battlefield 4 just tried to copy, I don't know, Battlefield 2, for example, with better graphics, the game would be stale and the franchise would no longer innovate. These games were great because of their innovation. The ideas that were implemented made these games fresh and exciting. Every game used to make Battlefield feel bigger, better, and more alive than the previous title, until recently with Battlefield 5 and 2042. Innovation and change is good for Battlefield, as long as it's good innovation and change. And that's the hardest part. Advancing and pushing the franchise forward while continuing the formula that makes a Battlefield game great is the true magic the old DICE team used to have, and David Sirlin was part of that dream team. So with him back as lead producer and the longest development time for a Battlefield game in franchise history, I truly think Battlefield can make a comeback. But also, it's going to be a new era of Battlefield. The days of Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 are over, and they were great times, and it hurts to think that I'll never relive the release day of Battlefield 3. But this new game can start a new chapter for Battlefield, and in my opinion, in order for this game to succeed, it needs to. And they kind of mentioned this in the Battlefield Labs reveal trailer from earlier this year, but they have a lot of new, and I'm guessing seemingly younger developers on this new game. A lot of emerging talent, I think, is the word that Byron Bede used. But this time around, they have a leader in David Sirlin who knows what was necessary for a successful Battlefield game in the past, and the potential for these new guys to come in and learn and build a new era of Battlefield and DICE is truly exciting. The industry is different now. The player bases are different. Gaming has changed a lot in the past decade. And no, I'm not saying Battlefield has to copy what's popular nowadays to succeed or anything like that. And ironically, nothing popular right now in the mainstream FPS scene is even worth copying anyways. Like, it's just a bunch of BR, SBMM, engagement optimized slop that is extremely annoying to play. But Battlefield does have to return in a new, exciting way. And now more than ever, the opportunity to do so in the state of the gaming industry in 2025 is primed for Battlefield to remind everyone why this franchise was so cool. Especially with Black Ops 7 being its competition, like Battlefield 6 truly can repeat what Battlefield 1 did to Infinite Warfare with its reveal trailer back then. Like, I genuinely believe that. So as long as the franchise remembers why it was so good to begin with, and then it pushes the game forward based off of that, and establishes a new core of developers for the franchise led by David Sirland, I think we might be back, boys. I think Battlefield 6 can be a banger. But that's going to wrap it up for today's video. What do you guys think? Can Battlefield make a comeback and dominate 2025 with Battlefield 6? What do you think the new game needs in order to be successful? Let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear it. And if you made it this far in the video, I truly do appreciate you. And to everyone who came out to my first stream the other day, thank you so much. Like, I had a lot of fun with you guys, and I plan on streaming again very soon. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. It truly does help me out a lot. And if you are new here, subscribe for more Battlefield content, news, streams, gameplay, etc. while we wait for the reveal of Battlefield 6, because once that happens, it's gonna get real. But until next time, my name is Sam. Hope you have a good one. Bye.